Alright, so we have a bunch of work to get done on the Rover, and we got a few issues after putting on the sway bar links that kind of rose up. So now that the sway bar links are on, the truck's been driving really good in terms of I guess like on-road feel, but now I'm starting to get like really nasty clicking and popping, and I thought it might be just the sway bar links that I put in just being kind of loose. And so I went in and I tightened those today, and it didn't fix the problem. So I started doing some searching and I found that drive shaft was slightly loose. There were 4 bolts on the axle side of the front drive shaft were a little bit loose, and they were kind of clicking and popping. So I tightened those up, and that didn't solve the issue either. I do know that I have a lot of play in the drive shafts for the output flanges from the transfer case, which I have 2 new ones. I have one for the front, one for the rear. Both of those are ready to go, and I just got the fluids in the other day for the transfer case, also for the differentials. So I was planning on doing those. I was hoping to do them next weekend. I don't want to get into them this weekend. But I don't know where this clicking and popping is coming from. I have absolutely no idea. So I'm going to try and figure that out. I'm going to try and source that issue, and I'm thinking about going ahead because I have 3 days right now to work on the drive flanges. So I was thinking about starting with the front drive flange and then maybe getting into the rear one maybe tomorrow. But it's supposed to be kind of nasty out right now. The weather's starting to kind of turn too. So I'm trying to avoid doing this when it's really ugly out. Anyways, on top of that, I still got door handles, a window motor to replace. I just got the material in for the floorboards and all the tools and stuff, so got to get started on those soon as well. So I got a lot going on with the Rover right now, and frankly just not enough time to get it done. And I got a few other things going on right now too. But I was hoping to get these drive flanges. I don't think they're going to be a big deal in terms of like a big project, but I do want to make sure I have enough time for them. So if I get them started, I can at least keep the truck parked and finish them up later, but I might try and start on those now. I'm going to do some exploring and see what I can find out is an issue right now, and then go from there. So I was talking about the drive shaft. Now I've got a lot of play in the drive shaft. The truck's in park right now, and you can see between all the drive flanges, which are what connects the drive shaft to all the gears, essentially. You have probably about 1/8 of a turn, maybe a little bit more, in the shaft. So I know some of that is coming from the transfer case, and I know some of it's coming from both of the drive flanges on the wheels, and I can almost guarantee there's slop in that one as well. But when I turn these, this is not the sound I'm getting that's causing issues, but you can see the front one has way more play than the rear one. You can hear how much play is in the transfer case. So, and I'm really hoping it's just drive flange play, but I really don't know. So I'm gonna start digging into that. I need to pull off the drive shafts, which I actually need some liquid wrench for. So I'm gonna unbolt the drive shafts here to the flange. This is the flange right here, and I'm actually gonna need something to pull those out. So I might need to get some tools for that. But I'm worried that that's not gonna fix my issue. So I'm gonna do a little bit more exploring before I dive into that right now. This is exactly what I was afraid of, getting into a whole new can of worms. But as I'm looking at the drive flange, I'm realizing how bad the U-joint is on this back side on the drive shaft. And there's actually, I don't know if you guys can see, there's actually like upward and downward play just on that output flange alone. So I feel like I'm gonna unbolt this drive shaft, which I actually really want to do. Unbolt that drive shaft. I don't know how to pull that thing off. Anyways, unbolt this drive shaft from here. I almost feel like I should just completely replace the drive shaft, get just a new one, because this is all dry rotted anyways. I'll replace all of that. And that just got really expensive really fast. Gross. So bad U-joint. Well, back to another Rover maintenance day. It is so freaking hot outside. But we're gonna try and get some stuff done today because the Rover needs some work. So to start today, heading to AutoZone, I gotta go pick up a new U-joint. So I think the noise that I was getting and the issues I was getting with the drivetrain, at least the worst of it right now, is from the bad U-joint on the rear drive shaft. I think I showed it already. So this is actually like 2 days later because I just didn't have the time to work on it the other day. So bad U-joint, getting new U-joint. I'm gonna pull the drive shaft today. I'm gonna do the U-joint. I'm gonna try and do the 2 drive flanges as well. After the drive flanges are done, I'm going to change the oil in the transfer case, top that back off, and then hopefully that'll solve those issues. So after I do that, I'm going to start working my way out to the wheels in terms of drivetrain slop, and do the axle flanges, and then do the drive flanges on the wheels. So that is the goal right now. Another thing I did, just kind of minute maintenance stuff that I did yesterday. I lithium greased the doors, so now I'm not getting the squeaking, and they're actually opening freely. I still have the door handles to do, and the window motor to do as well. So we're gonna work on those soon as well. Yeah. Hopefully we can get that done today. Well, U-joint is not available in town, so I already have one on order, which should be here later next week, which means the Discovery is going to be out of commission for a week, which kind of sucks. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull the drive shaft from the rear. I'm going to pull out the U-joint. I'm going to go ahead and do the input and the output I'm going to go ahead and do the output flanges for both the front and rear on the transfer case, do a fluid change, and go ahead and do the differential fluid changes as well, since I have the fluid for it. And then I'm going to remove the U-joint, the bad one, and then when the new one comes in, I'll be able to just stick it in and should be good to go. So still have a lot I can get done, and probably wishful thinking, maybe thinking that I was going to get everything done today anyways, but we'll kind of see. It's hot out. It's going to be rough, but here we go. The floor game is officially commencing. So this weekend, weather dependent, we are doing the floors. So I got my buddy coming over who's going to help me weld and stuff. Starting with that one, I'm pulling rear seats out right now. Then I'm going to work on pulling the passenger seat out, and then I'm going to leave the driver's seat in temporarily until we're for sure where we need to park it to do the work, and hopefully going to do the driver's seat actually first. What I'm going to do now is pull the seats out, pull that front seat out, and then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to sand as much of this paint on the inside as I can, and I'm going to go in with a wire wheel and wire wheel off all this rust and clean it up. I'm going to try and pull everything out that I can, trim stuff too. And once all that is done, I'm going to go in with some primer and prime up at least the back area here. So that way all this, because this is all actually good floor, like none of it's actually poking through, and I want to try and catch it before it gets worse. So that's the goal right now. Sorry if these videos this week and next week and the week before are a little lacking in a lot of content. There's been a lot to do and not a lot of time to film. It's been a lot of projects. So I'm gonna probably do like kind of a sum up video of all the things I've done this past month, because it is a lot. Truck is completely ready to start prepping floors. So both driver passenger seat are out, back seats are out. Get a good look at what needs to get done. It's actually not as bad as I thought on this side. This side's still pretty bad. Got the wheels off, so that way I can get the inner fender out, and so we can work on the inside on both driver and passenger side. Go direct up on jack stands. Battery is disconnected. You're good to go. Now, I will not be filming this evolution just because the goal for today is to get as much of this as done as we can, and I really don't want to get bound up with filming. So, like I said, I'm going to talk about all this stuff after I'm completely done. And before I probably prep and paint the floors, after we do all the welding, I'll give you guys a look at what I did before I install seats. And then after all is said and done, we'll talk some more about what I did. A lot of work ahead of us today. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but ready to get it done.